Okay, good. All right. So we read the whole chapter though. Okay, now before I really get into more, delve into more inside, we'll see there are 6 main qualities of Bhagavan that were actually discussed. One is Aishwarya, that means that he is most opulent. Then the second one is Sarva Sakti Mata. He is the source of all energies. Because nothing can exist without him. So we are all, even Jivatmas, we are all part of his energy. And then third, Mangalamaya, means he is the most auspicious of all the auspiciousness. And now the fourth one is Saundarya. He is the most and most beautiful of anything. Right? And then the sixth quality is Asesha Jnana. All knowledge comes only from him. So if you see the whole, how all the parampara system, everything came through, different paramparas through, all the souls is actually Lord Krishna. So he is the source of everything. Now also he is Sarva Swadandra. Sarva Swadandra means what? Completely independent. Completely independent. This means there is nothing, no rival for him. No concept of Satan or anything at all. So that is out of question. Okay. Now, also we have covered so far about the position of the Mayavadis. So who are the Mayavadis? Mayavadis are the one who really say that God has no form at all. Right? Okay, but this is just a small cartoon I really try to put it. Okay, so these Mayavadis, because if you see that, only the modern religions and Mayavadis do not understand about God. So they only guess. So every Shastra says that Bhagavan has form. He has spiritual form. And God is the most beautiful. So what this cartoon is saying is, Mayavadi is claiming, saying that, oh yeah, there is no form. Look at him. Hey, look how beautiful the formless God is. He's trying to take the Shastra and also whatever because it does not make any sense. And now if you also see, there is something very unique to the God and his name. Okay, this is very important. God, that means, here Swayam Bhagavan is Krishna, Lord Krishna, and his name. There is no different at all. It is exactly same. But only in the material world, an object and its name are different. Isn't it? They have, right, that's the thing. In the material world, a name is different and the object is actually different. We only relate to them. Okay, we just say, we take water. Water is a substance. And then we give a name water. And somebody can actually call pani, whatever it is. But the name and the object are not one and the same. They are only attached. Okay, in the material world. But in the spiritual world, it is quite amazing that God and his name is exactly same. Dehe dehi vibhaga kabhi nama me nahi haya. There is absolutely no difference between God and his name. So the nama is the name. Hare Krishna, that's the nama. And Nami is the person behind. That Bhagavan actually behind. He is the Nami. Okay, one who possesses the name. But in the spiritual world, both are one and the same. How will you understand? In fact, when one gets really spiritually advanced to the level, high level, then only they will be able to realize that they are actually one and the same. It's not easy. In a normal logical point of view, it's just simply, it's not possible to understand. But even if you really see the Bible, for example, it says that John 1:1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. Okay, so here is clearly saying the Word was the God, because I used to ask many priests actually. In fact, our family is actually comes from Christianity, because our grandpa they are Christians actually. So now some of my own relatives here, he's actually priest. I used to ask what exactly it means. They are telling all kinds of things, all manufactured stories, because they will actually try to get away from this fact. The Word was God. So what that means is his name and him, and they are one and the same. It is there, but they don't understand that. That's the problem. But then also in the name there are some differences. So how the different names are actually manifesting? They are the different names manifest depending on the different aspects of the same God. See, for example, Sadharana Nama. Sadharana means that is actually generic names. What are the generic names? Ishvara, Jehovah, Jagadisha, Allah, God. They are general names. They are not really affectionate. They are all saying, they are all really, glorifying the greatness of the God. But that is not, because, as we read, because the whole thing about the opulence, God is so opulent. He has everything. He is the most powerful. But what help? What kind of help that is actually going to be really given to the jiva? No use. There is no use at all. The only one use is he is the most merciful. Because of his mercy and because of his madhurya, because of his love on on the jivas that he has actually made, that is the only thing that is useful for the jiva because of the mercy. Otherwise, somebody is great. Somebody is all right, some president of some country is really great. So what is your problem? You are not really going to be really gaining anything. But at the same time, that president is happen to be your own father or your own relative, then it makes a big difference. Okay? So that is why Ishvara, Jehovah, Jagadisha, Allah, these are only almighty. They are only about the greatness of the God. That is not going to be useful for the jiva. That gives only fear of worship. Worshipping fear. Bhaya Bhakti. That is not the love at all. Then comes Mukhya Nama, primary Nama. Krishna, Rama, Govinda. These are all primary Nama. They are called Mukhya Nama. So if you see that the same God, he manifests depending on this name, because he has unlimited names. But every name has a different potency. Now the topmost is Premanama, Radha, Ramana, Yashoda, Nandana. This is the most astounding names of Bhagavan. This is what Premanama. So we, Vaishnavas, right, we deal with only the Premanama. Even Mukhya Nama and the Premanama. Okay, Mukhya Nama, we start from Mukhya Nama. Not like Brahman, Ishvara, Jehovah. No, we won't go with that. Again, in fact, Brahman, what is Brahman? Brahman is nothing but a effulgence of the Bhagavan. So Bhagavan is a Jyoti. He is the brightest light. You can actually compare that. And or like a sun. And from the sun, the light radiates all over. That light, that effulgence, what you see, is what is Brahman. That has no form. Okay, so this is where all the confusion comes into picture. So Bhagavan has spiritual form, not material form. You understand? So these are the three different kinds of names. And now if you really see the religions, how there are actually more than 200 religions or something, at least like Abhishek religions. But if you see that all the religions have a color. How the color is, for example, there are millions of colors we say, but we just, make the color by mixing red, yellow and blue, right? So then by mixing different ratios, you have different color actually made up. The same way, different religions are meant to satisfy the different needs of the jivatmas. So what are the three colors? Bhaya. Bhaya means fear. Most of the religions in this world are really based on Bhaya, and the next one is Asha. Asha means desire. Bhaya means fear. Because if I do bad things, I will be put in hell eternally. So you are fearful. Okay? So that's red. Then Asha, yellow. Okay, so here Asha means what? Desire. I want this one. I want big job. I want big this, that, big, everything. Okay, so that is Asha. That is why you are actually going to the, go to the temple or church for these things only. What is the Kartavya Buddhi? Kartavya Buddhi is actually all the rituals. This is really too much of rituals. The rules and regulation. Very, very strict rules and regulation. Okay, these three things are the three colors to form any religion. So if you have too much of Bhaya, for example, that will form one kind of religion. For example, Islam is actually more of Bhaya based. And Asha based is actually most of the Hinduism. If you see that, they really go to the church, go to the temple for asking some things there. That is actually Mora Bhasha. But if you see different combinations are all there in the religion, that is how a religion is actually formed. So if, people used to say the fear of the God of the Lord is the beginning, but actually that is true in one way, but that is not the place where one should land up. Because the fear of God is the one which is really the whole topic. In fact, it is based on the fear of God. For example, Islam's and also most of the Christianity, they do not really support the deity worship because they have fear at their core. Fear is there. But in Vaishnavism, there is always love, only love. We don't see anything about the fear. Okay, so this is a big difference there. Now Vaishnavas worship only also installed deities. Okay, so this is when the question comes as why then, because why Islam and Christianity, they are all say you should not really worship material things, and this is Satan's work, all the things are there. But why we really do that? If we see that idol and deities are different. Idol is something material object which is not installed. In fact, Vaishnavas do not really worship anything which is really not installed. It's not good at all. Then it's idol. So for a Vaishnava, deity is spiritual because it has been really invoked with a proper mantra, so that Bhagavan's power is manifested on that the form, whatever that we will call as deity, and Bhagavan is the truth. So here on the deity, Bhagavan comes as truth, and Bhagavan is the only resort for us. But whereas Mayavadis and others say, oh, deity is material, it is made of brass and copper and this and stone and this everything, that they see only that. And also they say God is imaginary. Brahman is the only attainment. This is where the problem comes into, because they are limited to their destination. For example, Brahman is their destination, and that's what they can think of. Okay, how much a first grade student can actually imagine about Fourier transform? It's not possible. So you have to be advanced. Because if you really try to tell that hey, there is more than what you really read, 1 plus 2, 1 is 2, 2 plus 1 is 3 or something, whatever, more than that, he said no, that's all my teacher told, that's all I want to know. Okay, so because you cannot explain to them, they cannot understand. That's the thing, because every jiva is in different levels in spiritual thing. Okay, now coming to the deity worship, it's very important point. Okay, very important. If you see that out of Bhaya, okay, that Bhaya means fear. Any religion that has Bhaya as their core, as one of the colors there, they are the one who can really say that no deity worship is allowed. So now my question is, will real God get angry when we try to make an image out of him? Okay, consider this one. This person, what you really see on his on his picture, he is a CEO of a big company. He has so many servants, and he also at home he has a wonderful wife, loving wife, and also children. And one day, the child actually just draw a cartoon. Dad, this is you, and mom, that is you, and this is me. I love mom and dad. Okay, he really writes something like, as you really see, is in the left side, and gives to the dad and mom. Do you think that they will get angry? This is not me. How can you really make an image like this? I am not like this, and I am going to really put you in hell. No. Instead, what will happen is, that mom and dad will be so happy, they will embrace the child. They will give a kiss, so many. Oh, this is so nice. And they will say, wow, this is the most wonderful picture that I have seen. And he will even take that picture to his office and put it there in front on the table. And not only that, he will tell everyone, hey, look at here. This is my child actually drew this. He say, this is me, and that is my wife, and that is my child. And he will be so proud, telling so many wonderful things about the child. But on the other hand, so now what is how they are related? They are related by love. By love. Okay, so this is very different. Okay, now suppose he has a servant of the CEO, and that servant also sees this one. Okay, I can also make a cartoon like this, and then suppose he also made the cartoon of the CEO, and then like you really see here, and then give to the this is you. What will happen? Within a second, he will be fired, because the relation is by what? Fear. So that is what the fundamental difference is, that the different religions, Islam or Christianity, they do not understand. Their Baba, the core is fear is there. Because if God is going to put me in hell, that fear is the one which is really going to restrict lot of this. So the relationship is different. It is not out of love. Out of love, if God is having love to you and you love God really, doesn't matter how you worship Him. You take a small piece of, just a photo of your dad or mom, and then you say, wow, this is my dad or mom. That's not exactly the same. You see, it's just a picture. So this is where fundamentally they go wrong. So if we now come here, the Jaiva Dharma, which we are covering as the Vaishnava Dharma, Nitya Dharma of the Jiva, is beyond color of religions. No place for Bhaya. Right? There is nothing, because out of love, we are talking about prema here. Prema means you are giving everything to the Lord. Anyabhilashita sunyam, jnana karma hadi anavritam, anukuliyena krishnanu silanum bhakti uttama. Only to make Krishna, the Lord, happy, you are giving, sacrificing your one soul. That is the Sutta Bhakti. That is the pure Bhakti. So there is no place for Bhaya. There is no place for even talking about health. Then Asha. Do we have Asha? Do you have anything that I want to be rich? I want to be beautiful? I want to be to be all famous? And this and everything. Do any Vaishnava ask Lord Krishna for these kind of things? Does he really have, I want a BMW, I want this one, I am having problem, my disease has to be really go away? They won't even care about anything that happens. Only thing is what? To give, to make Krishna happy. Anukuliyana Krishnanusilanam. That is Bhakti Uttama. You understand? And now, rules and regulation. Okay, some paramparas, for example, they go to the extreme. It has to be super clean. It should not be cooked by some this and that, everything. So many super clean. No. In fact, out of prema, it has no value, in fact. That is why if we see that when one comes to be more advanced in Krishna Bhakti, all the rules and regulations will really completely go away. There's nothing like that. We are beyond all these three. And that is called raga. So I told you, Bhaya, Asha and Kartavya Buddhi. Okay, so these things are actually the fundamental core of all the religions, what we really call as religion. But they are all different levels. They are only stepping stones, in fact. Okay, so we are way beyond all these, which is because it's called raga. This is really, this is prouder, this is all established by out of love. The relation, like in the story that I was talking about, that relation is out of love. It doesn't matter how you worship him. He will be most pleased to really come. You just go to Vrindavan and take a small piece of rock from Govardhan, and you say, "Wow, this is Bhagavan," because Bhagavan lifted Govardhan, and he himself is Govardhan, and you really worship. Bhagavan comes there, and he really accepts your offerings with out of love. This is the biggest difference. Okay. People are in illusion about the deity worship. Now, this is the sloka that we really encountered. I would like to call Janvi Nantwani, just to really say a few words about this particular sloka.
Hare Krishna. My name is Janvi Nandwani, and I will be discussing one of the shlokas that we just read in the Jaiva Dharma, which was from the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 84, text 13. The shloka is, Yasyatma buddhi kunapit trida tuke. Swadhi kalat hrida shu bhauma ijjadhi. Yat tirtha buddhi salilana karjij. Jineshva abhineshu sa eva gokara. The meaning of this shloka is, one who considers this corpse-like body comprised of the three elements, vata, pitta, and kapha, which mean mucus, bile, and air, to be his real self, who regards his wife, children, and others as his very own, who considers mundane forms made of earth, stone, or wood to be worshipable, and who regards mere water to be a place of pilgrimage, but who does not consider the Bhagavad Bhaktas to be more dear than his very self, to be his very own, to be worshipable, and to be places of pilgrimage. Such a person, though human, is no better than an ass among animals. The context of this shloka is when the mullah says that he accepts the supreme entity has a divine all-conscious form. He follows that by saying the worship of a material image of that spiritual form is what they call booth, and it's not the same as the worship of the Supreme Being. By bringing up this shloka, Gaurachanda is able to make the point that nowhere is it said that we should worship matter or material things. Everyone has a different spiritual level and has different qualifications in relation to their knowledge and understanding. Those with high qualifications understand that pure spiritual form of the deity. However, those with low qualifications will never be able to understand that form. Even if they were to worship the Lord in their minds, that spiritual form will still remain material to them, because there will always be material aspects to the Lord for them. For them, there is not a difference between a mental image and a physical image. Deity worship is not the worship of the material, but instead of the pure form of the Lord that it represents. Developing devotees may still have attachments to inferior material things, like their body, family, and similar things. The highest devotees, on the other hand, will have the mercy from the Lord to be free from those attachments, as well as be able to see that pure form. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
Now, if you see the history all over, Vigraha worshipped as Bhagavan. You can see, you all must have really seen the drama Sakshi Gopal. A deity from Vrindavan really walked all the way, literally walked to become a witness for a Brahmana, for his devotee. And the Radha Raman deity, it really formed out of a shalagram. Just like because the deity, because the devotee wanted to have a Vigraha, but he got only salagram, just like a stone, right? Round stone. So salagram, but he was thinking, I want to have a Vigraha, But the Lord himself, that salagram itself, that he worshipped became Vigraha. You can see even now that in Vrindavan, Radha Raman self-manifested. Okay? So Sakshi Gopal walked, deity walked. And now this is actually what you are seeing actually Banke Bihari. You can actually go to Vrindavan. Banke Bihari was actually given by Radha Krishna to Swami Haridas, which you really see on both the sides. So the Swami Haridas is actually a guru of Tansen, who was actually a great singer in the court of Akbar. In fact, okay, there are a lot of stories behind. And now, if you really see that, if you go to this temple, they will really close the doors again and again. Every minute they will close and then open. Then again close, they will open. Why? Because if you really concentrate on him and then call him, that deity will come to your home. It has happened. That is why they are actually very, very, very careful about. In fact, yesterday was actually the disappearance day of Srila Gauri Dasa Pandita. We are discussing about the two deities, that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, the Lord himself, Lord themselves, they really made the deity out of, they manifested that neem tree. And these two deities, even you can actually, if you go to the Ambika Kalna, even today, you can see, and these deities were actually walking and talking, and then, so many things they were doing as if it was actually what? A live person. Because actually, if you see that, there is no difference between deity and the Bhagavan. This is the way. That is how the realization actually is supposed to be. I don't have time to really go through the whole story, but remember, these deities that walked and talked to the devotees. Now, deity worship is only for Saturn, not everybody. Whatever I really circled, those are the only one actually allowed to really do the deity worship. So, if you take all religions, there are atheists, then circumstantial, those are the colored religions that I really talked about that. Remember all the RGB, right? There again you can say Vedic and non-Vedic. Vedic religions can actually have deity, but properly it's only eternal religions like Nitya Dharma, that the Vaishnava Dharma, they are the only ones in fact allowed to really have deity. But even though Vedic religions are supposed to go, non-Vedic religions like Christianity, Islam, Judaism, all those things, all those religions, they will fundamentally it really stop the deity worship because of what? Baya and Asha. See, Baya is the culprit there, because that is why those prophets who really come, they will say, don't go for it because you are not in that level. Your level is low. So you have to really, you don't know how to follow those things, how to take care of the deities, and what to do, what not to do. You won't be knowing that one. Okay, so they are actually there in the kindergarten. Now, Mullah also brought a topic on Satan. This Satan is something which is really made from paganism. Actually, if you see the Christianity and also Islam, they actually have the root on paganism. So paganism are called paganism. So actually paganism. So there, the concept actually ran through from there. Okay, so there is the one they really got the Islam and also Christianity. They really got from there. According to them, there is a Satan who is exactly as powerful as the God. How can that be possible? Because we just saw the 6 qualities right there, isn't it? And that is why Jaiva Dharma, it was actually clearly explains, Satan cannot exist. That is just a myth which they have really invented so that to really make the people more fearful, and so that they don't do bad things. So there was a reason behind. That is why every religion has a purpose. Every religion has its own levels, its own purpose, but we cannot really blame them. But we can actually point them saying this is the reason that they have done like this. So Satan is only a concept. There is no reality. Like Adam, Eve and serpent, there are stories, not real. Even according to the Bible, the earth is only 6,000 years old. But scientists and Vedas say it's actually, oh my, like millions or trillions of years old. Okay, this is always happening. All right. And according to that, even the earth was flat. So if you see that, it was for certain level, it is really starting with. So it's not the truth. Now, also there was a question, is every material thing also related to the God? Actually, answer is no. Because Maya Tatam Idam Sarvam Jagat Avyakta Murtina Mad Sthani Sarva Bhutani Nachaham Deshva Vastidaha. So what that means is, this entire cosmic manifestation is pervaded by me in my unmanifest form. All beings dwell in me, but I do not dwell in them. This is very, very important. If you say that, if you see a spider web. So the web is created by the spider. Isn't it? But is it really, is the spider part of the web? No, it is not. It is out of that. It only created, so it created the web. But the web is not, it is not inside the web. It's not. The same way, what Bhagavan is saying is, no, he is not, even though he creates it, he is not inside it. Okay, so it's like so the prison is made by the king, but that does not, just because the king sometime has come to the prison, he does not mean that he belongs to the prison. No, he is not. Okay, so that's why we have to understand. So now to conclude, I want to really recall Madan Mohini and to really summarize, and especially on the top 5 things that are related to devotion. I want her to point out and talk about where the deity worship is actually come into picture. Okay, there you go.
So in Krishna consciousness, there are these top 5 very important things. Number 1 is to associate with advanced devotees. Anyone who practices Bhakti Yoga should always keep in the company of advanced devotees in order to develop their bhakti. Number 2 is to chant the holy names of the Lord. And as Guruji said earlier in the Jaiva Dharma class, chanting the names of the Lord is no different than the Lord himself. Number 3 is to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam. And actually, reading the Jaiva Dharma is a preparation for the Srimad Bhagavatam. Number 4 is to live in holy places such as Vrindavan, Govardhan, Madhura, Radhakunda, Shyamakunda, Navadvip, and many other holy dhams. Number 5 is to serve the deity with the greatest attention. Unless we are very spiritually advanced, we cannot see the Lord's transcendental form. So out of the Lord's mercies, he comes as a deity form that we can serve. So in conclusion, we see that deity worship is in the top 5 of Krishna consciousness, making it very important in order to develop our bhakti towards Krishna. Thank you and Hare Krishna.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। थैंक यू। हरे कृष्णा।